What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down some of Adam Thielen's best route running from the 2020 season. We're going to be talking about how to run a slant out, how you guys can change up tempo and work this kind of like option out route type variation, and how you guys can run an out route against zone coverage, okay? So I think this video will give a lot of receivers a lot of value, and I hope it does. If you guys have any questions, leave those in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. But also, guys, if you want to get better hands and you're a receiver and you don't have a quarterback to throw to you, check out that link in the description. It says Improve Your Hands in 30 days, full 30-day catching program that'll help you guys improve your hands. No quarterback necessary. Hope to get you guys on that soon. Again, link in the description. Let's get started. So, number one here, we're going to be talking about this slant out and how well Thielen's able to sell this slant route and be able to get this DB to commit his hips, and he's able to drop it off and get out of this break. So let's watch this thing full speed. So he comes off here, one hard step, breaks to the inside, snaps it off with his hips, and then accelerates out of this break. Okay, so now, when we take this first step off the line right here, and he takes this single hard jab, you want to make sure that you're here and you're bursting to the inside, right? I'm stepping wide, stepping outside the DB's frame. I commit my hips, I commit my eyes, I commit my shoulders, and I have the same speed. Anytime it's kind of a double move situation, fellas, you guys want to make sure that you commit those three things. Those are the three things that I teach to get this DB to bite, because that's where he's going to be watching, right? What's he going to be looking at? He's going to be looking at your hips. So I think hips and shoulders is the most important one, right? Definitely the most important thing to commit when you guys are working a double move, like post corner, out and up, corner post, whatever it is. You guys got to make sure that you commit those hips, commit those shoulders, and that's called body language, selling with your body language. Now, next to eyes, DB shouldn't be looking up here anyways, right? He shouldn't be looking at those eyes. He should be looking at those hips, like I said. So next to torso, body language, I say speed. I sell selling with those legs, trying to keep the same speed into the break that you had off the line of scrimmage, right? So like if I'm working a post corner, for example, and I break to the post, I don't want to take 3 choppy steps to the post. I want to take 3 full steps to the post, because those 3 full steps actually sell like I'm running a post. I make this DB believe whatever I'm going to do on this first move. So again, he commits those hips, shoulders. He's actually running. He snaps those eyes around too, which 100% helps, because that just does more to sell to this route, does more to aiding to that process of getting out of this double move route. Now, the key here, fellas, is that you guys got to be able to change direction on a dime. And how I'm able to change direction on a dime is by being violent with my hips when you're running full speed. A lot of people can snap down. A lot of people can drop their hips when they're running slow, though. They're jogging, they're going half speed, they're taking choppy steps, and then they drop their hips, right? And they don't get any separation. We got to be able to drop my hips in stride, okay? So you see how he's able to stay in stride, violent with his hips, and you want to make sure that you're really dropping these and getting your chest to go forward. And so you see how he snaps on this outside leg in stride, his hips drop, and those steps got to be powerful, right? It's easier to change direction and be a little bit taller when it's a shorter route like a slant out, right? When it's like a hitch and go, or not so much a hitch and go, but like a curl and go, or a comeback and go, you see a lot of guys work that, or like maybe a post corner, corner post, whatever it is, it's a little bit harder, or like a post out, so you really got to make sure that your hips drop low and your hips are violent, right? So you see how he's here, more powerful with those steps than violent with those hips, but we still got to drop those hips and still got to be aggressive with them and be able to change direction in stride. That's the main key. Being able to change direction in stride is what we're going for. Now, when I'm in this situation and I get that DB to bite, we want to make sure that I'm able to accelerate out of this break, right? Because that's what widens the distance with him. There's 3 phases, right? You got the stem, energy at the top of the route, and then acceleration out of the break, right? So I get the stem is like that slant, that one step. I would say selling down this slant like this first part of the double move, and then my hips dropping into the out portion of this, and that acceleration. And that hip drop, the reason why it's got to be explosive, the reason why it's got to be violent is because your hips dropping low like that give you that explosion to accelerate you. It's like a 40-yard dash. You don't just stand up right out of the gates. You create explosion for like the first 10 yards, and that's what we got to do here so we can widen the distance, because literally all it's about is the ball's going to be here. Who's going to win the race? Is it going to be the receiver, or is it going to be the DB? Who's going to win that race back to the ball? And it should always be us, because we know where we're going. If you guys can sell vertical or sell slant in this case, drop your hips, create energy, or maybe if it's just a one single speed cut, create energy with that one cut and accelerate. That's going to get you guys a lot of separation, and that's going to help you guys win on a lot of these routes. Great route here by Adam Thielen. Let's watch this thing again, full speed. Again, one of the best route runners in the league. Let's watch how he does this again one more time. Comes off here, sell slant, drops those hips, powerful with those steps. Make sure we accelerate and widen the distance with the DB. All right, so now we're going to be talking about this route here, like out of this stack formation. So it's going to be more so like, what do you guys do when we get this situation where we can square up a DB, right? Now, DBs are taught not to backpedal in the end zone, right? They're not going to backpedal in this end zone, so that's why he's sitting right here. But I still want to make sure that I don't attack his leverage too much to where I give up my outside, like I give up this space that I have to the outside, right? We want to square him up. We want to attack maybe this inside shoulder, try to keep him on those heels. And you see how Thielen does a great job of coming off the line. He changes up tempo, and then gives us a little head fake, right? And just that subtle little head fake, letting Jefferson clear out, right? Understanding the timing of the play, right? Got to let this play develop, so I don't want to come out of this thing too fast and screw up the read for the quarterback. I take my time, I change up that tempo, and a little head fake, right? Now that little head fake gets that DB to sit on that outside foot, because what's he going to be watching, right? He's going to be watching my torso. He's going to be watching my hips. So if I can sell with my hips, maybe give a little head and shoulder lean, at the same time I keep my toes forward, I keep that weight on the inside arch, because that's how you get more explosive cuts. A lot of people don't know how to have explosive cuts when they work these situations. They'll be here and they'll step, but they'll open up their toe super wide, they'll open up their hip, and then they have this long process to get out. You guys want to be sudden with your feet, toes forward, sell with your upper half. Your upper half is what sells it. The footwork, just where you're cutting, everything like that, that's all about explosion. It's all about being sudden. That's all about forcing a reaction and being quick, not so much selling with it. You're not going to reach way outside your frame. It's going to be a sudden movement, be able to push. You're going to be long with your upper half. That's kind of the way I would think of it. Like you want to sell with your upper half and keep that lower half quick, keep that lower half sudden, so I could drive off this inside arch and create some separation. And again, I'm here. I just got to win that race. If I get that DB sitting on that outside leg, I get him a little off balance. Maybe he slips a little bit. I snap my head around. I make sure that I accelerate out of this break. That is number one. Anytime you guys are squaring up a DB on an option route, maybe you got this little choice route, maybe you got a quick 5-yard out route, and we're going to talk about that in the next clip as well when you attack maybe a zone coverage look or like off man outside shade. I square this DB up, I attack him, I freeze him, I get him with a move, and then I leave him. You've got to make sure that we accelerate. Acceleration is one of the most underrated things about any route. I think that that's something everybody can improve on. From guys who I've worked with who don't have a lot of offers out of high school, guys that are in college, from guys that have 50 different offers. They all can work on their acceleration out of their breaks, because that's what widens the distance. It's not just about creating separation at the top, having the fancy move off the line. It's about being able to widen the distance with the DB so it makes it easier on your quarterback, and you can catch that ball in space with room to work. Let's watch this thing again, full speed one more time. Adam Thielen comes off here, changes up that tempo, get that little jab, quick little head fake, make sure I'm pushing off that leg to accelerate me out of the route. So now we're going to be talking about how to run this out route. He cut his split down, obviously, so he has more room to work, and how you could do this against like an outside shade zone coverage DB, right? So what's something that you always, like, if you've been keeping up with my videos, you might know this. What's something that I teach when it's off man, or what's something that we go through when maybe it's zone, a little bit like that? You want to attack his leverage. So where's his leverage? Outside shade. So I don't want to just run to the inside and then try to run out, because you're just going to run right into him, and that's not doing anything for your quarterback. You want to try to move him off of his platform. If he keeps his outside leverage, I hit him with a move, and then maybe I try to break it back underneath him and make a play. If I attack him and he starts backpedaling, perfect. I could hit him with a move, and then I could take off. But in this case, you see how Thielen comes off here immediately, squares him up, attacking his midline. That's where you want to try to get to. You want to attack the midline of the DB, try to force him to keep his leverage or sit back on his heels. So now, you see how he's keeping his leverage to the outside. He's doing what he's coached to do, right? Keep my leverage. So now this is where being a salesman comes into play on this route. And Thielen's going to be working this rocker step, right? So many people think like, oh, if I attack his leverage, he's going to keep his leverage, and then I don't have anything, right? But that's where selling with your upper half and being sudden with your lower half and being a salesman comes into play, right? I want him to keep his leverage, but also, what if I had to run a dig right now or a post, and I attacked his leverage and I made it look the exact same the next time around? Look at all the space I created for myself, right? I just made this huge gap in the coverage for my quarterback so he could hit this thing right off the break, and then bam, imagine if he was just running a straight up post right now off of this cut. That ball would be right off the break and we'd be there, right? But now since we're running an out, we got to make sure that I'm selling like a post. I want him to be over anxious, because what's he giving up? He's giving up the inside on this by keeping his outside leverage. So he might be over anxious to drive on something, right? So if I sell with my upper half and I make this break and then I throw my upper half back to the inside, that gets him to more anxious to bite, right? Because so I'm here and you see he hits him with this rocker step, and all this rocker step is just a quick little 1-2, and you see how his hips turn, upper half turns, and he pushes. You see how when he makes that cut, he pushes off that inside arch. Anytime you guys are doing a rocker step, you got to make sure that it's not just a step in the ground and your arms shoot down. It's like you're stepping here and you're ripping your right arm across your frame to sell like I'm actually running post, sell like I'm running dig, whatever it is. And then when you catch yourself, you want to catch yourself with the weight on the inside arch, shin angle at almost a 45, so you could create some energy and shift out of there and drive out of that break, right? That's what gets him to stumble, right? You're selling with your upper half and he's going off a feel. You give him that 1-2, you rip your arms, you make everything look like that post, everything look like that dig, whatever you're trying to sell. And in some cases, the other way, you're trying to make it look like an out route, a corner route, maybe like a vertical set, and you got to catch yourself on this inside leg right here, but sell with your upper half. That's what the DB's looking. That's going to get that DB to bite. And then again, what do I got to do right here? I made a hell of a play. I got some separation. I created some space at the top. Now let's widen the distance. Let's accelerate out of this break. Let's pump my arms. Let's drive out of there so I could widen the distance and win that race. Ball's coming here. This is all the separation we need. Great route here by Adam Thielen. Let's watch this thing again full speed one more time. Attacking his leverage, squaring that DB up, attacking that midline, hit him with that 1-2, sell with my upper half, then make sure I accelerate out. Great route. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Again, if you guys want to get better hands and you need to improve your catching ability but don't have a quarterback to throw to you constantly, check out that link in the description for a full 30-day catching program, grip strengthening exercises, hand-eye coordination drills, everything you need to improve your hands without a quarterback. If you guys have any questions at all, leave those in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I'll see you guys next time.